Hello, everyone that's joining. Welcome. We're going to give everybody another minute or so to let the late folks be able to join. Everybody is automatically muted just to save me the worry of having to mute you myself. And then we'll go ahead and jump right in. If you have any questions, you think of questions throughout the presentation, just please put them in the chat. And I promise you, we will get to them all. And if for some reason we run long, because both Warren and I have meetings on the next hour, so if we run long and have to end before we get to your question, I will happily answer it in the Facebook group. And I already see a chat. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's just Warren. Okay. Thanks. I was like, okay, they got questions already. All right, so we got 1 minute after. I'm going to wait just a little bit longer to let the stragglers in, then we'll get going. So again, just welcome to our presentation on From Truck to Tech. And this was kind of spawned from a conversation that Warren and I had a couple of weeks ago. We were just talking about what the industry needs. And we, of course, it morphed into how the POS systems make decisions. And we thought, hey, this is a good presentation topic. So this is something we have never done before. But I'm excited to share it with you because it was an interesting conversation for us for sure. All right, I got two after. We'll go ahead and get started, make this all official. Again, welcome to Truck to Tech, how food truck operators are shaping the next generation of POS systems. Of course, POS stands for point of sale. So welcome. Let you know who you're talking to. My name is Bill Moore. I'm the Executive Director of the National Street Food Vendors Association, as well as a food truck owner, as well as many decades worth of experience as a restaurant corporate trainer and also as a food truck owner in some way, shape, or form. And today joining us is Warren Nash. He's the CEO of EasyEats, and he and I have been friends for the last number of years. Predates the association, almost predates the Facebook group, almost, but pretty darn close. And I've been a proponent of his software and his POS system, and I use it on our food truck. So our topic today, again, going from tech to truck, want to just let you guys know, normally Kaylee is here. She's the one that runs the show. She's feeling a little bit under the weather today and want to wish her, please get better soon because I need her as much as possible. So it's just me and Warren today. So again, going from truck to tech, I'm going to tell you what I always tell people about a POS system. We get this question consistently, and that question being, what POS system is the best? So I give them seven different things that I look for. A POS system has to have a minimum of inventory count control, which means you sell the number of burgers and it will count down the number of burgers that you have so you don't oversell. And it also gives you sales mix reports and controls your sales tax and lets you know how much money you owe to the different tax authorities. Needs to have an integrated KDS. KDS stands for Kitchen Display Screen or Kitchen Display System. But basically, it's a screen that shows you the orders. And that lets you not have to worry about paper tickets and ticket rails. I know a lot of people are into handwriting. I know a lot of people love to have those tickets print up automatically because they're already keying in stuff on a POS. The issue with that is thermal paper. Number one, thermal paper is expensive. By its very nature, it is heat sensitive. That's how it prints stuff. So if you slide one up on that ticket rail and it falls down on the grill, guess what? The grill's hot, and now you have a black sheet of paper as opposed to a sheet of paper you can read. Also, you open up the window and the wind blows, and now your tickets are out of order. So handwriting or depending upon printers is not the most efficient way to communicate the food needed by the cashier to the people that are cooking it and assembling it. You got to have an order up alert system. And what that means is an automatic way for the guests to know the food is ready without you standing and hollering a name or hollering a number or hollering or using rather pagers. The pagers that are used, most people get from Amazon. They are super cheap. and not real effective. They have a limited range. A lot of people set up at a brewery, for example. People grab the pager, go inside the brewery to get something to drink, and the pager doesn't work because brewery might have metal walls and it acts like a big Faraday cage. So they don't get the message that, hey, your food's up, until they realize they're hungry and they come back and holler at you because their food's cold. Of course, it's got to have credit card processing. You want to have the lowest rates possible and no gotcha fees. It's also got to have a low monthly subscription rate, because some of the things that are included in many POS systems are add-ons or upcharges, and they're still going to charge you for them. And then the last thing that I always got to have is US-based customer service that actually answers the phone and then provides actionable help. One thing that I hate, and I have seen this live, they go to hire somebody at a call center. The call center is going to represent a company, say Square, for example, and they tell the agent, here's your training. And they spend 2 or 3 weeks training them, but they don't teach them anything about the POS system. They teach them how to answer the phone and how to look up stuff on a computer. Then when you call and ask them a question, they are literally typing into the knowledge base your question to see what they're supposed to say back to you. And knowledge bases, from my experience, are pretty darn useless. I want to talk to the people that program the thing. I want to talk to the people that have to deal with it. And then you have the one thing that's also very important for your business to grow is an integrated guest loyalty program. So I'm going to let Warren take over from here because I'm sure you're already tired of me talking, and turn it all over to Warren, and he'll jump right in with his part of the presentation. Anytime you're ready, Warren. You're on mute, though. Will it let you unmute? There we go.
There we go. Yeah, I couldn't unmute myself there. So, all right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your time. I appreciate that you're here. Last minute, I decided to change up where I start on the presentation. I built out my slides just like Bill had it there. I was going to talk and everything in progression, but I actually want to start at the end because that's the most important thing. So let me give you a quick background of who I am, what we do, and then I'm going to talk on that. So my name is Warren Nash. I'm one of the co-founders of EasyEats. We're a small business that makes point-of-sale systems for food trucks, point-of-sale, KDS, online ordering system, all that type of stuff. We've been around for about 9 years now and are really dedicated to the food truck community. I've spent a huge amount of time in food trucks. We get lots of feedback from them for our features. And that's really one of the things I want to focus on is unlike a lot of the major companies that you work with, who, to Bill's point, when you call support, it's not a decision maker. It's definitely not an owner, but it's not a decision maker, and it's probably only someone that's basically trained. We really focus on being able to answer questions when our customers need help, general setup help, that type of stuff. But much more importantly, and much bigger, is the process of iterating and adding new features. So much of what we've built has come from feedback from Bill, from users, from our own interactions in the food truck, because I've spent, I don't know for sure, but thousands of hours in food trucks, most of the time at the point of sale, using stuff and seeing how it flows. We take the feedback and we build it into our system. For example, Bill knows some of these, but we've added menu boards outside of the truck that customers can display their menu in real time, but it's linked to the rest of the system so that when you burn through inventory and it removes that item from the sales side of things, the point of sale, it also removes it from the menu on the board. We've changed colors and UI experiences. We've added reports and features, galore, based on that feedback. And it comes to us from direct communication. We have a phone number. You can actually call and talk to us. You can text us. Surprisingly, most people actually text us. We have a Facebook community that's active. And then we also have, other people have this too, but kind of that industry-wide viewpoint where I can see what hundreds of food truckers are doing in aggregates and kind of build around that. But we really focus on this, and it's deep in our ethos of how we've built the company, and a few other points we'll talk on, specifically like the hardware we choose and stuff like that. Really comes from knowing the like kind of the food truck industry. We support quick service restaurants and a few other use cases, but our core focus has always been and will always be food trucks. So wanted to start with that. Bill, do you have any other thoughts? That I don't, when I always talk about this stuff, I always talk about how, we're a small business and we care about our customers because we're a small business, our customers are small business, and we really connect on that level. It's not just, you're not just dealing with some big, bureaucracy whenever you have a problem, but I don't always communicate what that means tactically. So trying to do that here where we say, I can't implement everything you ask for, but we take a huge amount of feedback and build into our systems to make your life better.
One thing that I would add is, as I mentioned earlier, you and I have been in conversation a long time
Yeah.
about how the system works. And there are things that when you sit in an office, whether it be in Warren's office or, here in my home office, you don't always think about what you need until you're actually using the thing.
Yeah.
My wife, Melissa, came up with, she just wanted color differentiation between different ingredients.
Yeah.
And we talked to Warren in Houston at the Food Truck Owners Expo about it. And it seemed like almost in real time, y'all worked it up while we were there. And
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just so impressed with that because it's something you don't think about until you're using it and you realize, man, if these were different colors, it would make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And that was a great example. And some things we can do real quick like that, and we try to. Some things are bigger, but integrated guest loyalty program, for example, that's something we're working on based on our feedback from our users, though that is a bigger one. So that's something still in development right now. Okay, Bill, could you go to the next slide? That's
Sure
kind of
can.
that's kind of the core. Why use EasyEats? Because we're a small business that cares, and we actually take your feedback. But also, I want to talk about the other features. Basically expanding on the bullet points that that Bill had. I already gave a quick introduction. I already gave the background. This is a little bit of a list of the key features as well. So actually, go to the next slide too, please. So just delving a little bit deeper into the topics. I'm not going to drain these too much, but point of sale. It's a device that you take orders on for most of your orders. It's what your cashier is using. It's running an app. You want something that's easy and quick to use. Ours has pictures, and it makes it very quick and easy to train people on. Naturally, the cashier position's likely going to have a lot of turnover. So having a device that's quick and easy to use on devices that are current gen that the average person would know is very helpful. So our point of sale runs on an Android tablet, and easy to download the app, and everything connects quite straightforwardly. Back of the house, kitchen display screen. Bill already hit on this perfectly. Its advantages are that it can aggregate orders so that you know a total. If you're 8 orders deep and you're running a little behind, it can tell you obviously what each order is, but in total, you have 5 orders of chicken fingers you need to drop in the deep fryer. You have cheese curds that need to go down, etc. So even while you're working through individual orders, you can see a total and keep that going. Other fun things it has is, and this is a little more unique to us, I don't know too many other companies that have this. We have a section, you can't really see it too well in that picture, but it's the blue box on the left-hand side, and there's nothing in it right now in that picture. Yeah, over there, but it's the one right below it. It's called an all on deck. And we have the ability in our system where even before the customer has completed their order, the person making their food can see what's coming. So it basically shows a live view of the cart on the point of sale tablet. So you can see, okay, the customer's in process of ordering double cheeseburger and fries. I'm going to start the cheeseburger and fries, even though they haven't paid yet, and it's going to be 40 seconds until they're done. That's quite helpful initially. Once you have a backlog going, less helpful, but that's the type of thing you can have with a KDS. And you don't just have to be listening for what the customer's talking about at the window. It handles all of this. It also it serves as the point that text messaging, that customer communication that Bill alluded to earlier. This is the screen you push the serve button on. And once you serve, it sends that text to the customer saying, hey, your order's ready, come and get it. The cashier typed that in. When they were taking the order, if it was at the window, they typed it in. But once you hit serve, it fires off that text. Automatically, you don't have to do anything else. And then also it can aggregate, it obviously aggregates orders, I already said that, but it also handles all your pre-orders and grouping. So it'll flow in, say you're doing pre-orders for an event. You know, you're going to an event later today, people order right now for later, then you get there, you start taking orders, you get people walking up and taking orders. It will also then layer in those orders from the people that ordered earlier based on the settings you've set so that you can make those and kick them out at the appropriate time, all in one place. You don't have to be switching around. So, you know, whether you use our system or someone else's, these are things you really want because it dramatically improves your process flow and your potential efficiencies. If you're not doing much business, you won't get as much benefit, but when you're really getting slammed, having these extra little features that can increase your throughput by 30 seconds an order really matter. Next slide, please, Bill.
Before we do that, we do have
Yeah,
one question here, and I think this is a more appropriate place to answer it.
let's do it.
Adam wants to know what's the maximum number of KDSs that you can have.
Oh, it's a great question, and it's actually a point of differentiation. So most systems will charge, well, not most, our major benchmark competitors, Square, they charge per device. So every month, I think is it $20, $10? I
It
forgot
is.
what it is.
It used to be 20. They may have dropped it, but it's between 10 and 20 for sure.
Okay, per device per month. Our
Mhm.
system's unlimited, all included. So you could have, no one really needs more than 3 or 4, but you could have 20 if you wanted to. They'd all work. And one cool thing, and I didn't mention here, I think I have it as one of my points there. I might not. They also support stations. So it's not just you could have 2 or 3 of the same screen. It also handles stations where you have an order with 5 items. 2 of the items go to one of the screens for that prep person to make, and then 3 items go to the other screen for that person to make, and then all 5 of them go to the final screen for the person that's kicking it out the door to assemble it and kick it out. So to answer your question, as many as you want, no extra charge, and it can even do stations like I just mentioned.
Perfect. Now we'll do your next slide.
Cool. All right, so connected to that, online mobile ordering and customer notifications, but let's first do mobile online ordering. I already alluded to online ordering for like pre-orders and stuff, and that's great. People do lots of that from their computer. In this specific picture, I'm really focusing on mobile ordering, and that's where you would have a QR code on your food truck, on your signage, or the best use case is you're doing brewery services and you have a menu with the QR code on it. So customer can whip out their phone, order right from there. They, of course, they see the menu as well with the prices and all the other modifiers and complexities and ability to pay. And they can order right from there. And that makes it easy for initial orders and reorders and can legitimately drive incremental revenue. There's plenty of times, and it depends on your market, but there are plenty of times where if you're doing a brewery service, people are hanging out with their buddies inside. They don't want to go outside and stand in line for 10 minutes and then wait another 10 minutes for the food to be done. They want to keep hanging out and with their friends and having fun, playing their games, drinking, whatever they're doing in the brewery. And that limits your sales. But with this, they can quick scan it on their phone, place the order, stay there, keep hanging out. And then 10, 15, 20 minutes later, when their food's done, they get that text saying, hey, your food's done, come and grab it. Boom. So that helps with some initial orders as well as follow-up orders. So if they did come out to your truck, bought their main lunch from you, went back in, been hanging out for 2 hours, they kind of want that second order of cheese curds, but they don't really want to go back out there. Again, same benefit. The system also tracks your location, which you can use for your own marketing purposes. Hey, check out this website. You'll see where I'm at today, tomorrow, whenever. And then we've already kind of drained it a bit, but the system will text the customer when the order is ready. Additionally, though, so the texting works for online orders and in-person orders, both of them. For online orders, you actually get a second thing. Think Domino's Pizza Tracker. So the customer orders from their phone, and there's a screen that shows the progress of the order, and that will keep the customer from coming out to your truck. Say you are slammed and you're 10 minutes behind or something, 15 minutes behind. It's going to keep the customer from coming out and saying, hey, did you get my order? Where is it? My name's Bill. Can you look it up? Because that, if you're slammed, is the last thing that you want. So the tracker enables them to see, hey, there's 5 orders ahead of me. I've ordered now, there's 5 orders ahead of me. Now there's 3, now there's 2, now there's 1. Hey, my order's up and done. So that's an extra thing I don't call out on the slide here, but it's very beneficial specifically for the online and pre-orders. So, all right, next slide, please. All right, these two are more important than they sound, given my experience with working with food truckers. Mobile-friendly hardware. Most food service design systems are focused on restaurants, not food truckers. You're going to break your equipment, not regularly, but you're going to break your equipment. So an expensive toast service, a system that's a couple $1,000 is going to get broken at some point. And we knew this when we were building the system because I spent a lot of time in food trucks. And the tablet's going to go out the window. Someone's going to drop something. It's going to get knocked over in the move. Seeing people drop them in their deep fryers. I had one guy who he had giant vats of his fry oil up above, high up on shelves. And of course, at some point it fell or broke or something and just covered his entire part of his truck in fry oil because he said it stored up high. Anyways, that stuff happens. So we built our system to use cheap hardware and not just inexpensive, but easy to replace. Tablets, an Android tablet. You buy it on Amazon. If you break one, you can run to Walmart or Target and get a new one in an emergency. KDS system is anything with a web browser. Another tablet, an iPad. We recommend a fancy screen on our website, but like literally it could be your phone. Don't use your phone. It's too small, but if you had to in an emergency, you could. The only device that's proprietary or unique or a little more difficult to get is the credit card reader. But we have lots of options on that depending on which merchant servicer you go with. That's not a big deal either. So really think about that. It's not something you usually think about, but whatever system you're looking at, assume this hardware is going to get broken at some point. How much does it cost to replace it? That matters. And then support side, we've drained this a little bit, but you can call us, you can text us, you can email us, and we get back to you quickly. And not only are we support, but we're also decision makers, so we can add features or do enhancements. Please try to limit your calls on the weekend, but we are available on the weekend if you really need us. So that's kind of high level stuff. We could go into lots of detail on specific features or whatnot, but I'd love to hear your questions, love to answer them. We already did my last slide at the beginning, so this is kind of my transition point here to hand it back to Bill.
All righty, so thank you guys for joining us. We are going to do questions. I do have a couple here on the chat, and certainly you guys can add more if you would like. While you're thinking of those questions or typing it in, the next steps will be obviously if you're not already an EasyEats user, that QR code there works, takes you right to the EasyEats.com website where you can set up a demo. When Warren and I first talked many years ago, that's what we did on that first call. Warren set up a demo for me, and that's actually became our food truck's account, even though it was probably 2 years between when you set it up and when I started using it.
Yeah.
And it was there all ready to go. And it was just super easy. Just go there and mess around with it. You'll be impressed.
Yeah. No commitments, just whatever you want to do. No commitment.
Yep, no commitment. That's what I really liked about it.
Yeah.
It was literally set up. I could program it, and of course, I can't take credit cards, but
yeah.
But it's worth the time for sure. And then, of course, join the association, the NSFVA, which is National Street Food Vendors Association. Click on that link, follow the QR code, and you'll go to the join page. Let me just tell you a little real quick about us, just so that you guys know what you're getting yourself into. If you join our association, you're going to be a part of the mini classes there every Monday night. We do group coachings on Tuesday, twice a day, 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock Central Time. So you're talking to me. Those are live sessions. You can ask questions specific about your business. And then, of course, on the Monday night classes, we're talking about things that are important to you as a business owner. We have a resource library. It's got well over 100 documents in it. Keep adding stuff all the time. You get access to last year's masterclass series, which is about 30 hours worth of video and a bunch of AI assistants and spreadsheets and contracts and all kind of stuff to help you be more successful with your business. You get two of my books, ebook versions, Food Truck 101 and 201. And then you also have access to discounted or even free show tickets from time to time. So now we'll do the questions.